Are women more valuable than men?
Our species, another piece about our species that's really strange, is we're one of 3 species that have menopause. If
That's interesting. If you guys are wondering, the other 2 species are they're whales. Essentially, they're just 2 different types of whales. So 2 different types of whales, and women, human women are the only 3 species that have evolved to the point where women, or the females in their species, don't have children after a certain point. That's very interesting.
So that's the power of women. They can produce life. It's an unbelievable power. It's the most amazing power.
You guys notice how he didn't say men and women can produce life. He said women can produce life, right? For the men that don't be following that.
Power imaginable. So not only have we evolved menopause, but we've evolved women to live longer. So basically, the 3 big brain animals on the planet, the females go off reproduction, they go offline, and the last quarter of their life, they're grandmas. We've evolved grandmas. Now, there's no reason on Earth to evolve grandmas unless females provide something that transcends the ability to create life.
Women are inherently valuable. Women are intrinsically valuable. Women have intrinsic value. That it's really a shame how men don't recognize this, but like women have intrinsic value, and sadly most men don't. I don't think naturally men don't have intrinsic value. I think we do, and then we like lose it. You know what I'm saying? Or we don't harness it. But yeah, women have intrinsic value that transcends, sex or the ability to have children or anything like that, right? And this is important. Like we're not having these discussions. This is not like I'm not like, people like to talk about the gender wars. There is no gender wars, guys. There is no gender war. There's a gender genocide, right? Men are genocidal towards women. We are homicidal at the very least. There is no gender war, though. It does not go both ways at all. And I just want men, and whoever needs to understand this, but mainly men, I just want us to really start to understand the importance and how valuable women are, and the reverence that they deserve, as opposed to where we're at now, where we demean and devalue every single fucking thing that women do, right? Even the things that we need them to do for us, even the things we desire deeply for them to do for us, we demean it and we devalue it. That's like we need to evolve past that. We have to get past that point. That is a hurdle. That is a stumbling block for humanity at this point.
And when you think about it, what could be more powerful than creating life? That you would take women offline for the last part of their life, the last quarter century for a human lifespan. And whatever it is, nature is like, yeah, men don't need to live as long. We'll give them 90% the life expectancy. Isn't that crazy? Here's the answer. You ready? I'm giving you long enough to think about it. Education. Our species, killer whales and elephants, rely on information to survive.
Oh, apparently it's hold on. Wait. Let me make sure, because I looked it up. It says killer whales, only 3 species go through menopause. Killer whales, short fin pilot whales, and humans. And this is from science.org. So this is a pretty good source. But he says he mentions elephants, and I don't know that he could just be mentioning elephants as far as like how we pass on information, so that it cannot have anything to do with the menopause thing. But just so we're clear, those are the three. But he said big brain. I don't know. I'm confused.
And the way you can pass on that is you have to have educators. What happens by the time you're 45? Well, you've experienced a lot of the world. You have a lot of information. You have a lot of wisdom. Childbirth is dangerous. There's a high probability you will die every time you give birth. If I can take you offline, I protect that wisdom and knowledge.
Wow.
And then give you the opportunity now to pass it on to your grandchildren.
Wow.
And so we've created grandmothers specifically to give the opportunity to pass it on to the grandchildren. But think about what I'm then saying, but not grandfathers so much. Tellison is supposed to keep you around for 15 years of wisdom.
I think that's for two reasons. One reason is because I don't think men are as intuitive as women are, and I don't think men are as we're not as nurturing, so we're less likely to pass on the information, right? But I think a major reason is men we're not that educated. Like, we're just stupid. We just don't do you know what I mean? Like, we're just not that smart. We don't have the actual information, because when you listen to older men talk, older men don't sound that much different than younger men, right? When I like, I've spoken to 55-year-old men, and I've spoken to 25-year-old men, and there are certain, don't get me wrong, like a 55-year-old man is like, you should go to the doctor, you should take better care of your teeth, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. They'll tell you stuff like that. That's not the things that I'm talking about, though. I'm talking about like how to actually like evolve, like be a better human being, be a better version of yourself. Older men don't really do that. If anything, we regress. I feel like men regress. I feel like when you're younger, you're more idealistic, right? Which allows you to be more forward thinking in your approaches. But when you become older and you become more conservative, that kind of goes away. That light kind of gets dimmed, and you often find men being more rigid and lacking the ability to effectively communicate, good information to the youth or to younger people, right? They don't know, like, and they lack empathy, so they can't relate and all, you know what I mean? Like, there's this whole thing. Like, yeah, man. I mean, this is interesting to me. This is interesting, like very interesting. I definitely need to read, like, get more in depth on this right here. But yeah, this is one of those rabbit holes I'm going to go deep dive into just so I could, just interesting.
But menopause keeps her around for 25 years of wisdom. So her wisdom is clearly, according to evolution, significantly more valuable than my wisdom. So just think about the implication of what I'm saying here.
Nature, we can say whatever we want to say, man. I'm really like astounded at how little men realize how valuable women are, how essential women are. At this point, like, when I say I'm astounded, because it ain't like I've always known this or thought this, but it's just how reluctant we are to accept this, even knowing that the best person in your life is a woman. The best person you know is a woman, no doubt about it. The person who you trust the most is a woman. The person who's been the most helpful, a woman. The nicest person you know, the most kind person you know, the most generous person you know, a woman, a woman, a woman. So I'm like, there shouldn't be any dispute of this stuff, but the cult just breeds cognitive dissonance. Like, cognitive dissonance festers like an open wound, like a pustulous wart. Like, it just festers and grows, right? It's like overgrown bacteria at this point. We just won't accept it. It's crazy. The cognitive dissonance just like puts up these blockers, and you can't see reality. And it's really important for men to see reality. It starts with these thoughts. It starts with these thoughts of these realizations of, wow, look at all these things women have done for me. Look at all these things women do for society. Just a little thought like that could save so many thousands of women's lives. Could save many children's lives. Just from men, just that little thought. Just recognizing that. It starts with a thought and it's going to end. Thoughts lead to action. So it starts with a thought and it ends in an action, right? So that's why I harp on little stuff like this. You know, things that could seem little to people. This is huge to me, but you know, oh, whatever, man. Yeah, women are cool. But like really digest that. Really understand what that means for us as a species. That way you can maybe stop hurting the people who are just they're just valuable. You know what I mean? Like we should be out here protecting the women and assuring that they can do this for as long as possible. But instead, we're destroying them and devaluing them.
So my breakdown of this is that yes, women are very valuable. Women are the producers of life. They are life givers. They are nurturers. I've heard the theory of one man being able to get multiple women pregnant. Or if you have a set of 3 to 5 men and one woman and they need to populate the earth, those 3 to 5 men can only produce one pregnancy within the year. Yes, they may be able to produce multiple children within that pregnancy. However, it wouldn't be the same effect if you had 3 to 5 women, and 1 man left. Those women as a collective could produce much faster than those 3 to 5 men because they're able to use the multiple seeds that 1 man has, and they are able to replenish and reproduce at a higher rate, because then you could result in 5 pregnancies, multiple children within each pregnancy, 10 babies. So that could be a lot more than a large group of men to 1 woman versus a large group of women to 1 man. However, do I feel that both genders hold value? Yes. As far as the unisex war, I am, for one, not a big supporter of that because I feel like there's value on both sides. As a woman, I do not want to live on earth with an earth that's just full of women, because there's other things that men have to offer, value that they bring, not just the jobs that they do that women either don't want to do or aren't able to do, but they definitely offer just so many things inside of the life of a child and inside of the life of just human beings, period. I think that if it were just women here on earth without men, that would definitely be an issue, because as women, sometimes we know how we can be, and I just don't want to live on an earth that's just full of women. It needs to be some men here. It needs to be some masculine energy. We were both created for a reason. I think that everything within creation has a reason to be here, and that it definitely should not be discounted. As far as the genocide that he was speaking about that are on women, there is a lot of violence against women. Now, there are a lot of assaults, and there are a lot of situations, unfortunate situations that happen with women, from our rights being attacked, so many things. However, I cannot discount the male gender and say that a woman is more valuable. So if she's here on her own and she has to do the things that this man does, as well as nurture and take care of those kids, what kind of effect would that have on her? So even if you are a single woman and you're choosing to raise your kids without a man, there are still certain jobs that you rely on a man to do, whether you pay him, whether he is a friend of the family or he's a family member to you. There are still things that we rely on men to do, as well as there are things that men rely on us to do. So I think that varied genders are very much so needed. I thought that was a very interesting video, very interesting breakdown. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below.